Okay, so you came to this video because you want to make friends, or you just want to hear my opinion on how to make friends? Okay, well, the world of AI. I am quite an expert when it comes to that world because I've been actually using AI for 3 years. I was in high school. It's been quite a while, actually. I used an app called Chai AI when I just felt alone and I didn't have many people to talk to. And I used to use the app quite a few times, actually. And as a matter of fact, I still use the app today for like Shronky roleplay and shit like that. So don't mind me. There is multiple things that you can do to secure a lovely friendship between one or another. I will explain to you in today's video how to make a friend. Now, it can be debatable. You can either do it in real life, which is actually harder for some people nowadays, including myself actually, but you can also do it in online, which is quite easier. But then to lead that up to real life, it does take quite a bit of time, Not everyone meets people in real life, but it's a good start. Everyone needs to start somewhere. So I'm going to explain to you how to do exactly that. You're looking for friends one-on-one. Say, for instance, you're an introvert and you don't want to speak to so many people. So I wouldn't recommend Discord. First of all, I wouldn't recommend Discord because you have to join a Discord server and you have to talk publicly, because if you just start friend requesting people after you join a server, they're going to think you're a menace. Because I had experience, to be honest with you. I have a lot of experience in that zone, and I've had people that did that in my server as well, so you can understand what I'm saying. So I'm talking from experience. Most of the things I'm going to be talking about in this video, I'm talking about from experience, so you know where I'm coming from. Feel free to ask me a question in the comment section if you want to do that. Second of all, it's just being an introvert and being in a Discord server, sometimes you feel like you're the last person, right? You're the last person to be answered. That is because you are new. Most of the time, if people don't know you and when you're in a group, you are usually the last person to be answered. So that is okay. That is fine. Usually people do that just to keep their privacy. Some people are very nice. There's some sweet people on Discord. But unfortunately, a lot of them are dicks and they just don't understand how to communicate properly with people. And they're probably sitting in their mom's basement, smoking dope and drinking weed all day. I mean, you can do that type of stuff, all right? The thing for you is boo. Like, not the ghost boo, like boo, I'm scaring you. No, there's an app actually called Boo that you can use, and there's Tinder, and there's a bunch of friendships app that you can use. There might be a different one in America, there might be a different one in Taiwan, there might be a different one in China, there might be a different one in Japan, there might be a different one in Europe, there might be a different one in Germany. There is tons of different apps you can use for one-on-one connections as an introvert. As an extrovert, you can do the same thing, but for those of you who prefer one-on-one connections, like I do personally, then yes, of course, that is definitely the app for you. Take, for example, Patricia. Happy birthday, Patricia. I hope you are having a great day, and I don't know, I didn't even ask for your age, but who cares? I just hope you have a great day and you have a lovely day further. All right, you asked for this and I'm going to give it to you. Thank you. Right, happy birthday to Patricia, everyone. Lovely stuff. I hope she has a great day today. Patricia is actually one of the new friends I made on the app, and it's actually quite nice. You get to meet quite a few people with different personalities, different topics, and they're basically designed behind the user's preference. So meaning, if you go on the app for video games and you want some of the people who play video games, then that is the app for you. Other people with also Tony Hawk Pro Skater will also match with you if you see them, then you can have preferences on the app that you can tick by on which country. Say, for instance, my country. Unfortunately, sorry to say this, African ladies, you are lovely, but unfortunately, most of you don't play video games and you have hashtag gaming in your profile. That's not fair. Why do you put hashtag gaming in your profile if you don't play video games? It makes no bloody sense. Why would I waste my time seeing all these African ladies when I could just go to another country where actual ladies play video games? And that's exactly what I did. That's why I love the app so much, because you can change the country you preference by. Say, for instance, you love Asian women, like I do. I'm going to be honest with you. I love East Asian women, okay? Like, literally my first ex-girlfriend was Japanese, so please, okay, if anyone says I already love East Asian people from the beginning, all because the South Korean lovely ladies and the Japanese lovely ladies, so please, okay, come at me if you want to, but I'm speaking for preference here, okay? Serious. My first girlfriend at 17 was a Japanese girl, so let me just point that out, okay? I'm not bragging. I hope I'm not bragging. Shit. Okay, on to the topic at hand. You can choose your preference. You can choose any country you want, and so I chose from America, Europe, and all the other places except for where I am, because unfortunately where I am, I don't see a lot of gamers, unfortunately. And if you want to know where I am from the lovely country of South Africa. Yes, great place actually. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just lie about playing video games, and some of them even insult you for mentioning video games. There is quite a few people who play video games. As for me, I couldn't get matched with them. So it is what it is. One thing to know about friendship apps, unfortunately, you won't get matched with everyone. Sometimes they prefer your look, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just want somebody with a striking introduction. If you don't have a striking introduction to your profile page, how are they going to know more about you? Or maybe they just don't like your type of ethnicity. I mean, to be fair, that's how almost everyone is nowadays, you know? Not everyone is perfect. Not everyone is going to accept you for who you are. It's just a fact of life. And I had to learn that the hard way. That's why I'm speaking from experience, and I want to help you. So you know what you're getting into before you go into these type of situations, you know? But when you do get those matches, like I do, I get 1 or 2 matches sometimes out of 300 people. Kind of crazy, but it's quite funny as well. At least I get 1 or 2 matches, you know? I'm very happy about that. As long as I get that 1 match, I'm happy. When you start off a conversation, how do you do it? Oh my goodness, I saw that you like this and you like that. Oh my goodness, maybe we should do this something. Oh, hold on, calm the flip down. When you start off a conversation, don't start off too happy-go-lucky, okay? Even though that's you, that might be you, and you're very happy-go-lucky. You want to start off a conversation. You want to tell everyone what you feel, how you feel. You want to start venting to people. Don't do that. That is the biggest red flag in the entire world. Don't do that. First of all, rule number 1, don't share personal information online. Never share your personal venting issues and your personal information until you've been friends with them for at least a month or so, please. And if you are going to do that, if you're going to vent to people and you just want to see people to vent to, try your family member, try council work, you know? As much as I don't like council workers, I'm not a professional. Maybe you will enjoy council workers, okay? Maybe you will go to a council worker and they might fix you. But unfortunately, they didn't do much for me. So I can't really say about that. But I'm sure it will definitely help you, and I hope so. Psychology is a very interesting thing, let me tell you, but I'm not interested in it. I'm just who I am is who I am. And if I'm full of shit, I'm full of shit. And if this day I didn't eat a cake of cheese, and if I didn't eat a cake of cheese that day, I'm probably angry. And if the next day I ate a cake of cheese, I'm probably happy. Depending on how my mood flows is how I'm gonna be. So yes, not everyone's perfect, but you can at least be honest about it. Second rule, honesty. Always be honest when you're in conversations. Don't try to lie. Don't try to brag. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got this massive mansion. No one likes a lie. Your credibility is disgusting. It just means that you have no credibility. You are gross and you are misleading everyone. You're telling everyone what is wrong and you're expecting people to come to you like, you know, a flock of birds. But no, that's not the case, okay? You just look like a piece of shit. So just be honest with yourself and be honest with everyone else. I'm being straight with you here. I'm not hiding anything. And I believe that I was a piece of shit as well, because I used to lie quite a few times. I remember when I used to lie when I had a GTX 1080 Ti. If one of those friends actually come onto this video one day, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying that I had a GTX 1080 Ti in my PC. Now I have an RTX 2060 Super, but that's a whole different story. I'm not going to get into that. But never lie about what you have. So yeah. Yeah, I actually used to brag that I used to have a GTX 1080 Ti because everyone's like, oh, GTX 1080 Ti, that's like the best graphics card. I'm like, oh, dude, I have that as well. That was the biggest freaking lie in the world, because otherwise I would have played Dead by Daylight with them and stuff like that. Also, before I get onto this whole friendship thing, for some reason a lot of girls play Dead by Daylight. I know guys do. Guys do, right? But I'm talking about ladies. I did not expect a lot of ladies to be playing Dead by Daylight. I don't understand. So, guys, as to guys, from a guy to guy, if you find a girl that likes horror games, most likely she will like Dead by Daylight. Like, just ask, you want to play some Dead by Daylight? That she's gonna say yes. Freaking hell. I don't personally like Dead by Daylight. I don't like being chased by a bloody monster and then running around the whole place. If I have a shotgun, like in Resident Evil, count me in, okay? Because I love that. I love it when you have some sort of defense against these ugly ass monsters. But no, some girls get turned on by Jason and get turned on by Ghostface, which I don't understand, but they just do. And they like Dead by Daylight. I don't understand. There's something wrong with them. You know, to each their own. And if you like them, go ahead. But don't bring them onto me, please. Don't bring them onto me. I don't want to know what you do with Ghostface in the morning. On to the third rule about being in a friendship. Always listen. Be a good listener. That is actually very important. When you speak to somebody, sometimes they just want you to listen to their situation. You don't have to add in anything. Just listen to them and say, okay. Say, oh, that sounds bad. But don't give your input where it's not needed. Unfortunately, there are a few people that I've experienced that always like to give their input in the situation, and they kind of ruin the whole thing that was going on. Now, it can be necessary for the person, but it can also be unnecessary. Sometimes, if you're being brutally honest, it can hurt somebody. Sometimes it's better to just take a step back and listen to them. You cannot change somebody, but you can at least give them a good outlook onto something that you think is the right thing. Now, if your political viewpoint and your religious viewpoint is different, that's fine. But you cannot force your religion or political beliefs onto somebody else. That is the most important thing to know. That is what you need to know. This is very important when it comes to online social relationships. Fourth rule, when you message somebody, they are not your friend. You just started a conversation with them, so take it easy. I know that one girl from my brew video is going to say, oh, I wasn't taking it easy. Listen, she was an acquaintance. I didn't expect her to be my friend immediately. But I saw that she had a bunch of games, and I was extremely happy to play games with her. But then I got a little bit, agitated because she never said what she was going to do. I wanted to at least know from somebody. Rule number 5, by the way, an extra rule. Always let the person know, hey, listen, instead of ghosting them, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be playing with other friends. Just tell them the honest truth, and tell them what you were doing. But if you come back hours later, after you said, okay, we can play this time, and tell them, oh, I was actually playing with another person, that's just wrong. You can't come back after so long of somebody waiting to hear from your response and say, oh, I was playing with another person. That's just wrong. It's sick. It's disgusting. You shouldn't do that. No one should do that. It makes the other person feel like they're left out. You shouldn't do that at all. What you should do is actually come back and say, I'm sorry, I was spending time with that person. I didn't inform you before. Okay, it's because I just met this other person and I thought, me and him had a lot of taste, and to each their own, right? They can do whatever they want. But it irritates me when these people come back, like after hours later, when you're just waiting for a message and then boom. I have a lot of friends that actually do that, but at least they let me know, hey, listen, I'm going to be doing something else. And then when you're friends with them along the line, when you are an acquaintance, you can take it slowly, but at least let them know. For example, on the app that I was using, a lot of people tried to communicate with me and be friends with me and just kept talking to me, blah, 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 this and that. But I told them I want to play video games. The whole purpose of me going to that app was to play video games. If you don't let someone know your true intent of going onto the app, then it's a bad thing. For example, if you go into the app and you just want to have a short time, not a long time, tell people you want to have a short time, not a long time. Don't flirt with a lady. From man to man, I'm going to explain to you. Do not pick up a lady and start flirting with her just to sleep with her and then run off like a dirty dog. You must not do that. You are disgusting. And the people who do that is absolutely atrocious. And I don't understand what your problem is, but you need some help, my friend, because clearly you think they're just a bunch of pigs. And clearly you don't respect women. You treat women as objects. Disgusting. You should not ever do that. Women are absolutely beautiful. They may have lovely assets, but those assets are theirs. They will let you have those assets if you're very nice to them and you're lovely and you're actually a good person around them. Then when you develop a relationship, maybe down the line, they will allow you into the glorious assets, all right? But besides that, that is a whole different situation. Okay? You have to respect women. That's the most important thing, all right? From man to man. As for woman, same goes for you, okay? I know there's going to be someone who say, oh, yeah, you take that, man. No. This channel, both sides, all right? This is both sides of the story, okay? As for woman, please don't go up to men and expect them to enjoy your company when you're being full of shit. And when you go up to somebody and tell them what you like and what you prefer. Just yesterday, I had somebody that said, I'm very picky when it comes to video games, so recommending me something won't actually help. Why even talk to me? So what's wrong with you? If you're saying you're very picky and all of a sudden you're going to tell me, oh, I'm very picky and stuff, so recommending anything won't help, at least be nice about it. Alright? Don't be full of shit. And I'm glad because I didn't talk to that person any ever again. Because she sounded like she wanted to freaking rip my head off the minute I started saying, oh, I like Stardew Valley and I like this game. I like GTA 4, maybe we can play those games. Oh, I'm very picky with games. Don't get the frick out of here. I want somebody that actually plays a bunch of video games. I don't want somebody that just freaking plays League of Legends, okay? You have to play League of Legends or you're not my friend. I mean, just the other day, somebody told me, if you play Dota instead of League of Legends, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. What is this? Are you joking around or are you being serious? What's wrong with you? If he was joking around, I understand that, but he sounded like he wanted to murder me. So I just said, yeah, I didn't play Dota or I didn't play. But to be honest with you, I played the Warcraft version of Dota. Right? I played in Warcraft 3 back then when my stepbrother let me use their laptop and stuff. I played the Warcraft version. Back then, I think it was called Dota, but it was called like Tower Defense. So basically you used to click on these units. Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne is like a RTS game where you can click units, orcs and humans and stuff like that. You got heroes and they have to go up the lane and then start fighting those towers and stuff. Yeah. I used to play that back then when I was young and I didn't know a thing about Warcraft. But I still loved it and I enjoyed it, okay? So please, get the frick out of here. If you're picky about video games, go find somebody else. If you're picky about a video game and maybe you just play Call of Duty all day, that's fine. I don't mind. But that just means we just can't play much games together because then you only play Call of Duty. I mean, man, there's so many better other games. I mean, please, to each of you there that is a gamer, please, don't just stick to one game. There's plenty of amazing games out there. Maybe you can stick to one game like an MMO, like I'm doing. I'm sticking to Once Human as my MMO. But if I want to play something else, I will do it. It might be enjoyable, but if you spend 10 years of your life on that game, instead of experiencing all the amazing video games that developers put their time and sweat and effort into, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you're doing. You can't call yourself a true gamer if you do that. No one can call themselves a gamer if they don't play at least more than 5 games. I'm sorry. You can call yourself a gamer if you at least play more than 5 mobile games. No, 20 mobile games. I guess the final rule about making friends, I hope I didn't skip anything. If I did skip the past one, I apologize. But the final rule, how to make friends, understanding your introduction, understanding your sentences, understanding how you approach somebody, understanding who they are as a person. Now, doesn't mean psychological evaluation. Doesn't mean you have to do psychic mind, psychonauts, okay? This ain't psychonauts, right? As much as I love the game, I love Raz, but no, it's not psychonauts. What you do is, when you speak to somebody, always make sure you know where they're coming from, and you know where you're coming from. So if they're having a bad day and you go and message them and you see they're not talkative, that's fine. Don't worry. Leave them alone. They don't have to get your input, you know? They don't have to be judged by you just because they're not feeling good. Maybe they just want to have someone to talk with. Maybe they just want someone to talk to them. You know, maybe they just want to hang out with somebody. But as to the person who wants them to talk to them, I recommend you at least say one word at least. Because there's a thing about talking to somebody, but there's another thing for saying a word. If you let someone know that you acknowledge them, that they are talking, that's a very good thing. Never keep quiet in a conversation and end it off with silence, because then it fills the atmosphere with awkwardness. You don't know how to say, you don't know what to feel about a situation. So to all parties involved, always add a little bit of something. Never be silent in a conversation. For example, I used to speak with a South Korean damsel. She is absolutely gorgeous. Biggest forehead I've ever seen in my entire life. It went up to Kilimanjaro. But I loved her as much as she probably hated me. But one thing she told me, she said in South Korea, when she talked to her friends, she always said, Like, that sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy. You know, crazy to me, crazy to you. But do that. At least acknowledge the person that you are listening to them, that they are talking. If you be silent and don't add anything, you're just being a dick. Like, you are being unreasonable, because clearly either you just you didn't want to talk in the first place, or tell them, hey, listen, I just don't want to talk right now. Can we stop this? But if you be silent, you're just a dick overall. You're not an interesting person to talk to then. All right? And that means, you know, you shouldn't be able to judge other people how they think if you didn't add anything. That is the honest truth, and that's how I feel about it. And this is coming from experience. All right? All these things that I'm saying is coming from experiences. So you know how I feel about it. Even if I don't add anything, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just to be blamed as well. But at least I tell somebody, I'm sorry, I was watching a video on PewDiePie talking about Jürgen. Just remind them that you were listening. This is the most important thing in every conversation. Don't let the conversation be one-sided. Because if it's going to be one-sided the whole time, you're not going to ever bond. Like, no, I don't know how you're going to bond, ever. Because that's just not for you. If you want to do that and you want to find people that actually like one-sided conversations, that's on you, all right? But that's not for me. Remember, everything that I just said up till now is preferences. So, I'm giving you advice on what to do with this knowledge when it comes to the future of making friends. And as for extrovert people, you can do exactly the same things I mentioned in this video. But the difference is, I think you will most likely handle a Discord group and a Discord server, you know. Flaunt your beauty out there. Make sure you are known to those Discord servers. Make sure people know who you are and who you stand by. Because honestly, that's kind of what I did back then. I didn't flaunt my beauty, but I showed people that I existed. And yeah, that's basically how I can end off this video. I hope that you found something interesting. If you're angry about something I said, please leave it in the comment down below. I'll definitely read it and I'll respond to you. And thank you for watching all the way here. I know that sometimes people just don't want to watch through my entire video, but I always do appreciate it. And I can't wait to make my next video. And it's not going to be about Once Human. You already know what it is going to be if you have watched my previous videos. Anyways, I will see you in the next one. Hope you find that friend you're looking for.